Good morning, everybody. It's Richard Berrycat. I want to share three things with you. Three important life lessons that I learned last night from an 84-year-old gentleman who has had business meetings with billionaires, multi-billionaires. This gentleman built a computer imaging company early on in his 20s. He sold that imaging company to Hitachi, Hitachi. He sold this computer imaging company to Hitachi in his 40s. And he retired shortly thereafter and has been traveling the world many times over ever since. He's been to Japan, Tokyo, Japan, 40 times. This 84-year-old gentleman was married for 53 years. Has 3 daughters, all successful in their own right. And today at 84, he spends his time traveling the world many times over, like I said. Golfing, experimenting, exploring cigars. He lives in New Mexico. Lives in a small room.
Head south on South Blackhawk Street toward East Wesley Avenue. In 1,000 feet at the traffic circle, continue straight to stay on East Harvard Avenue.
New Mexico. And he flew into Denver last night just to watch the Denver Nuggets and the Cleveland Cavaliers basketball game live. I met him last night at the Churchill Cigar. If you're ever in Denver,
in a quarter mile, turn right onto South Heather Gardens Way.
I know a lot of my audience who watch my content are based here in the United States. If you're ever in Denver, check out the Churchill Cigar Lounge in downtown Denver. It's inside the Brown Palace Hotel. I'm coming up on my hotel right now, so I'm going to park and continue this conversation. So it's downtown, and the Churchill Cigar Lounge is inside of the Brown Palace Hotel, downtown Denver. I think you're really going to have a good time, and you will meet a lot of important, smart, wealthy people, where you can have a conversation with and learn a thing or two from. So I asked Billy, his name is Billy, you've been married, you were married, you lost his wife after 53 years. You know, I said, you were married for 53 years, you built this company that you successfully sold. What can you share with me? And all along I was thinking about you guys too, my audience, because I know that the information that he gives me, I'm going to pass on to you guys. And I asked him, what is the secret to your success? And I don't want to go into too much detail, but what would you say are your top 3 secrets to your success as an entrepreneur and as a family man. And here you are, 84 years old, doing what you want. You're here having a cigar with me and a bourbon inside this beautiful cigar lounge. Share with me, Billy, the secrets to your success so I can apply that information to my life. And I'm going to give you game, because I share this information with a few of my buddies as well last night in real time. The number one thing that Billy told me, the secret to his success, number one is who you marry. Let's think about that for a second. I asked him, give me top 3 keys to your success. He broke it down without mincing words, without hesitation. The number one thing is who you marry. I gotta relight my cigar. Just bear with me. Look at that. Churchill Cigar Lounge at the Brown Palace Hotel. 321 17th Street, Denver, Colorado. I'm in Denver right now. Number one, let that sink in. Just think about that for a second. Who you marry, that's number one. I'm gonna get to number 2 in a minute. And the secret to lighting a cigar is twist it. Number 2, what Billy told me, the second secret to his success. Number 1 is who you marry. Number 2 is where you live. Where you live. Who you marry and where you live shapes whether you'll be successful or not. This is coming from an 84-year-old retired businessman. Successful. Go to the Brown Palace Hotel, and he was staying there. I just went there. I went to the Brown Palace Hotel to the cigar lounge. He booked the room there. So go look at the price of the Brown Palace Hotel. Nightly price. And then come back and post your comment. This is where important people go. Where you live, that also plays into your environment. I was born in Lawanson. If you are from Lawanson, Surulere, Kate Surulere, Lagos, Nigeria, you're watching this, post a comment, man. I was born in Lawanson. 20 Ikbo Street. The building is demolished now. Now it's a factory. Surrounded by poverty. When you're surrounded by poverty, you tend to live amongst people who are poor. And now, I'm going a little bit off topic here, but I'll get back to number 3. Just because you're poor doesn't necessarily mean that you have a poor person's mindset, though. I really want you to keep that in mind. Because my grandmother, when you look at her, she was a poor woman, but she had a rich person's mindset. She lived to 105 years old and died in 2020. She never asked anybody for handouts. She never asked anybody for money. She farmed. She raised her goats and chickens. She lived, if you looked at her, you would say, oh, this is a poor person. Even though she lived like a poor person, in her mind, she had the mindset of a rich person. Because she was very independent down to her last days. Never depended on anybody for anything. So where you live is not only a physical thing, it's also a mental thing. Where do you live in your mind? Where you live in your mind. It's more important than where you live physically. But where you live physically is also important. So 3 keys to success. Marry a good woman or a good man. Who you marry, number 1, because that is the person that you're going to build a family with. Keys to success. I didn't make this up. I picked the brain of somebody who is successful beyond his wildest dreams. Who you marry, number 1. Where you live, number 2. And the 3rd key to success, the type of work you do. Who you marry, where you live, and the type of work you do will determine, and I know success is relative, but those 3 key core things will determine if you will be successful or not. Notice, he didn't say anything about money. When those 3 things are in order, who you marry, where you live, and the type of work you do, those 3 core things are the foundation of success, he told me. When you are rooted, there's a saying that when you look at just look at nature. A tree has to be rooted first before it has branches. When you're rooted in those 3 things, you're rooted in marriage, strong foundation of marriage, you have a good family. When you're rooted in where you live, you are able to become a part of a community where you live mentally and also where you live physically. And when you're rooted in the type of work that you do, you're also able to grow. Those are the 3 things he shared with me, Billy. As soon as I got that, I immediately tested my closest friends. Like, here I am having a cigar at the Brown Palace Hotel at the Churchill bar. Go to my past videos. When I tell you that I attract quality and I'm drawn to quality, it's because of me having a positive mindset and me putting myself in an environment of like minds. This is not a sermon. I'm not preaching this to you. I'm just sharing what I learned. Just like I shared it with my boys last night after I got this information, I'm also sharing it with the community, with the platform, my community, and my viewers. Take that information, apply it to your life, and most importantly, share that information just like Billy shared it with me, and just like I'm sharing it with you. Take that information and share it with others. Have a wonderful, wonderful Easter. I will talk to you guys another time. My name is Richard Barricade. All the best to you.